Hello, everybody. Hello. I hope that you are doing amazing. When I tell you that you are in for a treat, listen, everybody does not get this special treatment. You are here on the Tyrik and Kamara show, the dating show. We are going to tell you today how to financially prepare for marriage, and you don't want to miss this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on Tyrik. Look, we are excited.
What up, though?
Okay, let's adjust the camera.
Yeah,
Okay, first
that's me.
and foremost, like when I tell you we are about to have a good time,
For real.
okay?
It's gonna be
Tonight,
epic.
what you say?
It's gonna be epic.
Listen, it is.
Most popular
Tonight,
episode.
we have Nichole Holmes. I need everybody in the comments, if you are subscribed to Netflix, just I'm gonna put the emojis. So drop the emojis, so you're gonna drop them. Because we have Nichole Holmes,
Yeah.
who is one of the hosts for Marriage versus Mortgage. When I tell you she is amazing, she's like, oh, you want a house? You want a house? We'll get you a house. So we're going to talk today, how do you prepare for that? So before we get started, Tyrik, we have some
Yeah.
new people on. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. So, well, first, I'm happy to be here. You know, it's crazy how this dating show idea even started. You know, I was live one day. You hopped on my live, and you was like, "Hey, let's
Oh,
do a dating
gosh.
show." I was like, "Okay. Hey, how are you?"
Hi, friends. Oh my gosh. First of all, Miss Nichole, we have to give the claps.
Yeah.
So everybody in the comments, just give the claps.
So kind. Y'all are
Because you have just inspired us. Marriage versus mortgage. We're like, which one?
mortgage every day, all day long, people.
We have a real estate. He actually is a property owner at 21. So we're definitely going to be doing some talking.
Fabulous. That's
Thank you.
amazing. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
huge. Oh my gosh.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, fabulous.
So before we get started, first of all, for everybody who is joining us, we want to say welcome. I'm Kamara, and this is my co-host Tyrik. We have an Instagram live dating show where we teach people how you can date in a healthy way. And a lot of people, they want to get married. So they're like, well, what do I do with my finances? So as Tyrik and I, as we were watching Netflix, we were like, yo, marriage versus mortgage. This would be a perfect way to teach people what to do with their finances. So we asked you to come on, and you did, and you were so gracious and kind.
Oh, well, you guys are so sweet to even invite me. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
No problem. So let's get into it. We know that relationships, they're a hot topic right now. Like everybody is talking about, hey, I'm with this person, or I'm with that person. And then they want to move in together. Okay,
Right.
cool. So now we're at the place where even in our group chats, we're sitting down, we're going out, we're talking about the exact same thing. Should I go get married at the courthouse, or should I take this money that I have in savings? Should we put it together, or should we go get a house?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to ask you, as a real estate expert based in Nashville, how can a couple really financially prepare for marriage?
Well, I want to first off say that I am not anti-marriage, despite my track record not being so lucky. But I want to impress upon people what I have learned. And statistics are statistics. So, in saying that, if you can afford to have the big bash of a wedding and a great down payment on a home, by all means, do it, enjoy it, knock yourself out. That, however, was not the concept of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And these 10 couples really had a decision to make. And so it was up to me and Sarah to try to win them over through one way or another. Her, the big bash, and what it means emotionally and all that. Understandably so.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I am a decade plus older than Sarah. I have been divorced twice. She's married her high school sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's adorable. We are very similar in a lot of ways, but also very opposite in life experiences.
Right.
And not to make me sound like a bitter old person or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
I just have lived. And all that to say, if you're struggling with that, I mean, please, people, have a very small, intimate wedding and put that nest egg that you have saved
Yeah.
towards something that will actually make you money, which is a home.
Yeah.
The market right now is ridiculous. If you
Yep.
follow real estate, even in the tiniest little bit, you know this. You know that it's hard. Inventory is very scarce, even in the smaller towns, but specifically in the larger towns like Nashville, like New York, and the other major metropolitan areas. So if you've got that nest egg and you can put it down towards a home, absolutely do that. Because my one liner that I throw out in almost every interview, and people are probably tired of hearing me say it, is what is your ROI? What's your return on investment on tourism?
Yes.
I mean, come on. It's a wonderful day. It's a big party. There's pictures. You can do that. Your family and friends love you regardless, whether you spend, $180 a head, or if you bring your lawn chairs and get together in the backyard, or whatever. I mean, whatever you can afford. But yeah, if you're asking me, I'm saying always put your money where it's going to make you more.
Listen, Tyrik and I, we're on the same page.
For real.
Okay. We're
And
like,
that
listen, mortgage.
Yeah, mortgage all day long. Come on.
We're on the same page.
I was hoping, but I just didn't want to be presumptuous.
Yeah, because see, like, at least like my opinion, like, I was watching. First of all, I think the show is great. Like, I actually, I think I watched like 5 episodes today. Like, I was into it. Like, I could not stop watching.
It was so fun to do.
Yeah, so it's like my opinion is like weddings are great, but then like weddings only last a few hours. Like, that's
Thank you.
It's not an investment. You're not getting a return on it, and But whereas if you buy a house, you're gonna get it. First of all, you got a place to live.
Right.
You own the place, and you can make a return on investment, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a win-win.
So if you don't own a place, you're paying rent. You know what that rent goes towards? Someone else's mortgage payment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're paying somebody's mortgage. Why not make it your own? I mean,
Right.
Why pay for somebody else's mortgage? It doesn't make any sense. So, and I know it can be intimidating, especially for young people. So to get back to your original question, how can I help younger people or people that are trying to buy a house together? Get your credit in check. Make sure that you've got a decent credit score, because that weighs a lot on the percentage that you will get on a loan, whether it's going to be a high percentage rate or a lower. And the lower you can get it, I mean, spanned over 15, 30, however many years, that can save you a whole lot of money by just cleaning up your credit and taking time and, making sure that things are paid off and in a timely manner. So that's a big part of it, honestly.
And that leads us into our next question, because, since the pandemic, a lot of millennials that we've seen on the show, because when I'm looking at, like, in terms of age range, they're probably maybe between the ages of 20, 21 to probably in their mid 40s. And they are saying, listen, we have this chunk of change set aside. Society is telling us on Instagram, it looks good to do a wedding. Well, what do you think? But then we know when we sit down at the table and we're looking at each other, we need to go ahead and get a house. Right. So you talked about credit, and you talked about basically what is the checklist people should be going for before they go in and buy a house together?
First of all, Instagram. I mean, that is nobody puts the doldrums. Nobody puts their worst days on Instagram, or very few people, I should say. So please do not compare yourself to the Joneses, as they say. Don't try to keep up with anybody else but you. You guys need to sit down together as a couple, figure out what you guys can afford, talk to a financial planner, talk to a loan officer, talk to your parents, your family, your pastor, whoever it is that you feel confident and trust, and sit down and talk with them. Make it a family friend, a real estate advisor. Any of those people can help guide you in the direction. I'm not a financial planner. I can just, tell you who to go talk to. I'm not a loan officer, but I can tell you who to go talk to. So, and there's all kinds of different loans out there. It is mind-boggling. First-time home buyers, VA, FHA, you name it, almost any type of profession that you're in. There's some for doctors, there's some for teachers. So just, you would be surprised at, I think a lot of people don't realize what they can afford. Honestly, they've never taken these steps. They've never talked to a loan officer and broken it down into how much they make, how much they need to be spending or setting aside. And that is something that a financial planner or a loan officer could tell you, like what's the percentages, break it down, what makes sense, how much is too much of a house payment. Yeah. And I mean, to be just really frank, you have to be on board with so many things entering into a relationship, not to mention a marriage. So if you're going to purchase a home together, I hate to say this, but it's like a business transaction. It is very much a business transaction, because if things go the opposite direction, you've got to figure out who gets what. And I hate to be Debbie Downer, but I mean, statistics are what they are. I'm not going to sit here and go, wow, 60%.
We don't want you to. Tell us the truth before we get a house.
Yeah.
I'm a realist, people. And, just look at the statistics on marriage and second marriages and so on and so forth, and blended families. And that's all wonderful. And I hope people find the happiness. And I wish everyone all the happiness. But given the statistics, be smart with your money.
And you mentioned something I thought was really important. You said not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I think a lot of times now people are trying to live above their means by looking at other people. And it's just like,
aren't we all? I mean, listen, I'm guilty of it too. Everybody wants the name brand this and that and the fancy cars and the bougie address, all of the things. But, you're just you're setting a marriage up for failure in that respect. If you are overstretching. I mean, what are the three big things couples always fight about? It's money and sex and in-laws, I think, is what the three are. And money and sex were always big ones in my two marriages. I know that. Just speaking from experience. So that's for sure things that you guys need to be on the same page with before you take any big steps to happily ever after.
And do you recommend, and I'll say this for the audience.
Divorce attorneys all the time. No, I'm kidding.
No, wait a minute.
I should be sponsored by
It's like, okay. It was actually a post that I sent to my friends. And it was like, Tyrik, I think I sent it to you. And it was a guy had got down on one knee, and it was a meme. And he was basically saying, hey, do you want to get married for the next 1 or 2 years? And she was like, yeah.
Listen, I've heard a lot of this in contracts, like 3-year contracts. You're going to work harder. If you know in 3 years your contract's going to be up, other than, oh, this is forever. And then they're thinking, oh, you're stuck with me. I'm stuck with you. We can get fat together. We can do whatever. You really should think of it as, year to year. Let's re-up. Let's touch base again. Let's re-up. What are we happy? What are we not happy about? And because it is, I mean, it's not easy. I'm not giving relationship advice, clearly. You don't want it from me. I'll sell you a house all day long. But I don't.
We want the house
track
and we
record
want the
on the
advice.
relationship side.
Yeah.
I want the audience to get prepared, because we are going to bring at least one of you on to ask your question.
Oh, fun.
And I think that this will be a really good way to speak to Nichole.
You never know what's going to come out of my mouth, so.
We love it and we want it. Let me ask you this. So if you want to come on the broadcast, just hit request live, and then Tyrik or I will add you on. We have one person that we know we're going to add on for sure. So if you want to come in and ask a question, do. Now, I do have a lot of friends who they are living with their boyfriends or fiancés. Now, I'm a proponent of, hey, get married, then buy a house. Like, because you said it's a business transaction. People, they act crazy. So what do you suggest couples, because we're seeing a lot of people that just living together. And I'm not promoting that, but what I'm saying is, if they want to buy a house together, what would be your advice to them? How can they legally?
It's absolutely a business contract. If you're not legally married, it sure is. You guys are business partners in this house. That's black and white as far as I'm concerned. So you should definitely talk to an attorney, whether it's a real estate attorney or just, a business attorney. And if you want to do it right down the middle, or if someone's putting down more of a down payment than the other, and there's all kinds of percentages that you guys can split up. But there needs to be something in writing in case you guys go opposite directions, that everyone leaves the relationship, and whether it's you have to sell the house and split the proceeds, or whether one buys the other one out of the home. But it does need to be written in black and white. Absolutely. And let me say that I have no trouble with people living in whatever, living in sin, do whatever. Listen, I'm not here to judge. Do whatever you want to do. But if you are living with someone, helping with the mortgage or paying the light bills, and then you guys break up, you've been investing your time, investing your money into this, which in this market is just blowing up, and you're getting more and more equity just by the second in these cities, the big cities. So make sure also that if you're helping pay, and everyone, in my opinion, everyone should be. If you're living under the same roof, you guys need to pitch in here or there.
Yeah.
Also, again, it's not romantic. It's not sexy to have, well, if you're going to spend this a percentage of your take-home pay to this, once it goes sour, you've invested in it. Figure out what that's going to be, how much the house is appreciated since you've been living there, and, helping contribute to it. And get what you deserve getting out of it, because I think so many people, even young people, they don't think of it as an investment. Yeah. But in this market, you absolutely have to think of it that way. And if you are helping contribute, you're helping someone pay their mortgage, then you need a percentage of that once the relationship goes elsewhere.
No, listen, Tyrik and I, we already had the conversation. I am a courthouse kind of girl.
Okay. I did that on my second go around. I did courthouse, yes. On the second.
I just said, honestly, because see, I'm going to give you a little background about Tyrik. See, he's 21. He's an entrepreneur. Baby. And also, he is he has his own property, and women are chasing him down.
I bet.
Okay?
Listen. Yeah, what the line out of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Mama says he's bona fide. He's bona fide. If he's a homeowner, are you kidding me? At 21? Absolutely. Cutie patootie on top of it.
Now, you had a question to ask her. And Danielle, I want you to come back on because we're going to get your question answered. And again, if any of you all have a question that you want to ask live for Nichole Holmes, go ahead and ask it now. But, he had a question that I think only you can answer.
Oh, boy.
So listen, okay, so when it comes to and this happens a lot of times with celebrities and, big time people. We talk about prenups and stuff like that. What is your opinion on prenups? And let's say if you're an already established individual, let's say you got your own business and you got your own TV show, whatever the case may be, should you get a prenup in your marriage?
1,000%. Yes. Yes. From the top of my lungs, from every rooftop and every mountaintop. Absolutely. Yes, 1,000 times yes. You sure should. Again, not fun, not sexy, not romantic, but necessary. It is necessary. To me, it's just black and white. There is no, but what if she... Great. If she is coming to the table with the same, protecting her and her assets as well. It should be that way. It should be 50-50. That's just me.
Yeah. Somebody say yes to the prenup.
I'd say yes to the prenup. No. Look, that's the next question in the comments. Do you think that you should get a prenup if you are financially established and you say, hey, listen, if things go south, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. Okay. So what we're going to do is we have one of our viewers who is on. Her name is Danielle German. Her and her fiance live together and they are looking for a house. So she wanted to come on here, and Danielle, if you can share your camera with us, that would be great, and ask your question to Nichole Holmes.
Fun.
Hi, can you guys hear me okay? I am having some connection issues, so I'm hoping you guys can hear me at least, even if you can't see me.
I can hear you crystal clear.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. First, I am such a fan of your show. I watched every episode. Me and my fiance, we watched every episode. And we are definitely, if we had to choose, we would definitely choose the house. We are really big proponents of that. But I definitely just want to ask you, what would you suggest would be the best way for first-time home buyers to find really strong mortgage rates? going into the process? Because yeah, go ahead.
I always say it's like car shopping. You have to shop around because your bank may be able to offer you some great financing deal because you have your savings and checking and whatever with them. But they're not the only people in town. So talk to as many as you want. Find out about all the different products. And honestly, excuse me, honestly, before I got into real estate, I was very naive to this. If I had been a first-time home buyer before I had been in real estate, I would not have known that you could shop interest rates and shop people and you know, there's origination fees that maybe they want your business, this person wants your business more, and they will take those origination fees away and save you several hundred, maybe thousands of dollars. So definitely shop around, talk to as many different loan officers as you'd like until you're happy with one, and find out just what's out there and what the go-to programs are these days.
Oh, that's awesome advice. Am I able to ask one more question?
Yes,
I'm good with it.
Okay. And you might have already talked about this, but I did want to ask a question about credit because I want to know how big of a role that plays in like the home buying experience. I think saving money and setting a budget is one thing, but I think repairing credit and getting your credit to a good place is really important. So I would love your advice about how much, you know, the credit plays in that process and where my credit should be when we start this process.
It's huge. It's huge. The higher your credit score, the better rates you're going to get because the banks or the loan company is going to be that much more confident that you're going to pay them and they're going to get their money back out of it because you're responsible and you've got a great credit score. So it is huge. If you've got bad credit, I don't want to dissuade you from trying to purchase a house. You can also purchase a house, but your interest rate on that loan is going to be higher than someone with excellent credit. And as far as what yours should be, that really depends on the loan officer and the products that they have because they have specific loan programs for specific credit scores.
Right.
So it really just depends. Just get it as best as you can, honestly, and talk to them. Now, if you go and talk to a loan officer, they will be able to tell you, okay, we've got this wonderful situation here that if you bring your credit score up 30 points, it's going to knock 0.5% off that. And over 30 years, that money adds up. So
awesome.
Just check with the credit officers, loan officers.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Sounds good. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to hop off.
Okay. Bye-bye.
So look.
First of all, credit is a really big issue. Our generation, you know, they're like, oh, we have people who can do your credit. They can help you with this. But I mean, to buy a house, okay. No, Tyrik, I believe this was your question when we was talking about this. But he asked something that was really good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So listen, so when it comes to credit, so you got husband and wife, both engaged and stuff like that. So like let's say like for me, right? So I have a really good credit score. My credit score is in the upper 700s, right?
Talk about yourself. He wants a date, y'all.
Round of applause.
After every live that we do, some girl hits him up on Instagram.
Thank you.
I love
it.
Look at all the hearts. It's amazing.
Thank you. So
Bonafide. He's bonafide. Telling you, kids.
Yeah.
So like, let's say if wifey got like a 430 or whatever, are they gonna like balance? Are they gonna balance out, or like, do they look at the higher one? Do they look at both of them? Like, how does that play out?
I feel I'm not a loan officer, but what I have seen happen in the past is that they will put you alone on that loan because you have the better credit score. You don't want to introduce a 400 credit score when you've got a pristine, beautiful, big fat number hanging there. So yeah, you don't even want to introduce that. That's not to say that her, or if it's a his that's got the bad credit, name can't be on the deed of the home. And that's, there's also paperwork that you guys can draw up outside of it. Just because he or she may have poor credit doesn't mean that she's not contributing the same amount. It's not likely, but it's not impossible monthly to the mortgage. So, a contract outside of the loan would also maybe be beneficial.
Okay.
Make sense?
He's also, ladies, I know what you're thinking. Okay, you thinking that you snatched a bag. Well, let me tell you about Tyrik. He's going to require a prenup.
Well, yeah, as he should.
I mean,
And you know what? Listen, Tyrik, any woman worth her salt, she should want one as well to protect her assets that she's worked her rear end off. If she's where you are at 21, she will want the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's like when you work so hard for something, it's like, you don't work, like it took you years and years and years to get to a certain point. You have to protect that no matter what.
I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's nothing saying that you guys can't also build something together. And that's huge and wonderful and great. And I hope that happens. But, in the event that it doesn't, everyone needs to cover CYA. Cover your ass.
You know what? I really think, so do you teach people all day long? Because when we were watching the Netflix show, we was like, well, this is teaching us something. You really see people's behavior. And we want to pick out, I think it was one couple. They were living in an apartment, right? And then they had the choice to go from house or from mortgage. And we was like, dang, I wanted them to get the house. But then other people were like, well, no, she probably wanted her dream wedding. So what factors go into what you should choose? Like, there are people who are like, listen, okay, we can scrounge up $10,000 and have this mini wedding, and then we'll put 25 over here. But I mean, what factors would you really go off on that will say, hey, push towards the mortgage?
Right. Well, that's what made the show so fun and also infuriating when, those of us who are pro mortgage, when they chose the wedding. There were a lot of factors involved. There could be religious factors. Maybe the couple hasn't lived together yet and their family doesn't want them to until they're married. So that's a big stressor. Maybe they're waiting to have sex until they get married. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. That's something that you want to get out of the way and, get a move on that situation. So it could be that. It could be that you have been together for a decade already and have children. And in that specific instance that you're mentioning, they just wanted the boys. What it boiled down to is they wanted the boys to, see mom and dad solidify how they've been living for the last 8 or 9 years or whatever the amount of time they've been together was. So it's all personal. Everyone's decision, couldn't be one way or the other. It couldn't be all mortgage and it couldn't be all marriage, or it wouldn't be a very fun show to watch. However, I wish a few more would have swung to mortgage. Can you imagine, given this real estate climate, we shot that in 2019.
Oh.
Imagine how much equity everyone would have in their homes right now.
A whole lot.
Oh my gosh. Do you think they could afford a wedding now? I mean, holy cow. They probably, well, who knows? It just depends on the part of town and all this stuff. I was going to throw out some figures, but it's irrelevant depending on so many factors. But, suffice it to say, they would definitely have a ton more equity in their home than whatever they've got left to pay for on that big party they had. If they didn't pay it off in one fell swoop, which they probably didn't. So, yeah.
Tyrik, you have to ask Nichole, because now we want to dive into the show. Let me see over here again if you want to come on live and ask Nichole a question. She's a very busy woman. I caught her on the Instagram stories, thank God. I was like,
so
she said yes. So, okay. If you
I was
want to
thrilled.
ask a question, ask it now. It was somebody on here. Created by Joelle's. They said, we want season 2. Can we expect a season 2?
Oh, you know what? I wish I had a definite answer for you. I would think we would have heard by now. I would have thought we'd be filming it already. I am going to lean towards the no side, sadly, just because we should be filming it already.
Yeah.
However, reasons behind it, we'll never know. I mean, we were in the top 10 for several weeks on Netflix. And I mean, I still get new followers every day, which I adore. I love hearing from people all over the world, Scandinavia. I mean, you name it. It's amazing. I have to use my my translator a lot because they type me something in a language that I don't speak. So it's amazing. But I don't think we would be We're getting a season 2. I just don't think it's in the cards. Also, given this real estate climate, there's no inventory. So how in the world would I be able to secure these houses and film there? And it's just, it would be a lot of moving parts. It would be much more difficult to do it now, given this real estate climate that we're in, than in 2019 before all of this happened.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm still hopeful that other things are in the works, and talking to business people and, moving and shaking and doing all the things, trying all kinds of ideas out. So we'll see. Hopefully you haven't seen the last of me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. We know you. We know y'all got something big and huge coming. So we are expecting it. But talking about the show. So look, show takes place in Nashville, Tennessee. First of all, beautiful city. Love it. I think it's awesome. It is. Like, why Nashville? Why did you guys pick that? Was it something that you picked, you and Sarah, or the producers?
It's the producer. Sarah and I were already here. I've been here over 22 years at this point. Sarah had been here over a decade. I had been doing real estate. She had already had her very wonderful wedding planning business and event planning business called Southern Vine Co. And they found us. They came to us. Literally, this just fell in my lap. It was amazing. So it wasn't our idea, but once they paired us up together, oh my gosh, we got along instantly, thick as thieves. Really funny because my best friend who got me into real estate, it's so funny how the universe works. My best friend who got me into real estate, we had just been to New York and purchased her wedding dress. And I knew she had a wedding planner. We talked about it. We talked about where it was a destination wedding, all of the things. So we didn't talk about who the planner was going to be. So when I'm talking to the production company, they said, is it okay if we have Sarah come to your house and we need to do a great Zoom to get a sizzle reel together to show? I'm like, absolutely, bring her over. She walked in. Listen, she lives in the neighborhood of one of my other best friends. We had been to wedding showers together, baby showers, kids' birthday parties. We'd actually been to dinner in a group of 10 people together several years before. Wow. And just never made never sat next to each other and made that big connection. Then she laid it on me. She was my best friend's wedding planner. I'm like, are you kidding me?
That is crazy.
So
small
crazy.
World.
So crazy, yes.
Yeah.
But to answer your point, why they chose Nashville, because it's been the it city for a decade now, and it continues to get hotter. We're right now the #1 attraction for bachelorette parties. We call them the woo-woo girls. If you're downtown and eating at a restaurant, you're going to see a pedal tavern go by, and all these girls, woo, crazy and hanging off the pedal taverns. And I don't know how someone hasn't fallen off. Listen, if I'm drinking and trying to pedal, it is not going to go well. There's no backs to those seats. I don't know.
Yeah.
It looks like a hazard to me. But the woo-woo girls love it and are still coming to Nashville in the droves. And we love it. It's great to have them driving the Airbnb industry and all the other restaurants and hospitality industries are loving it. So I'm supportive.
Sounds great. Yeah, I love it. First of all, like I said earlier, great show, fantastic show. I love it. Now listen.
Thank you.
$1 million question. I want to know. Kamara want to know.
I do?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to know. Some of our viewers want to know. $1 million question. How can you land a show on Netflix? Or how can you be a host? Like we want to know. I want all the sauce.
Spill. This is tea. Spill it.
Spill it. Spill the rosé. Literally, it fell in our laps. I mean, I have my degree. I'll give you a little bit of background on me. My degree is in radio and television. I've been a news anchor and weather presenter, and I've done all kinds of commercials. And I've had an agent in Nashville for as long as I've lived here. When I was much younger, I did some modeling and I did some beauty pageants. So I mean, in front of the camera is my thing. I've hosted a shopping network for 6 years.
Wow.
So I've always done that. That will always be my thing. I also split time doing that with real estate.
Mm-hmm.
So when this came to fruition and they were looking for people, it was another wedding planner that they had interest in. And she ended up not doing it because her business partner wasn't comfortable having literally their business on television, and was afraid that they would get too busy or something would happen and it would affect the business in a negative aspect. And And so she bowed out, but she gave them my information, and they called me, and then they searched for Sarah. They asked me if I knew of any wedding planners, and I really didn't, but I gave them a few names just that I'd heard. They didn't use any of those people. They found Sarah, and then, I mean, the rest is history. And yes, I see someone's asked me if I'm still in contact with Sarah. Absolutely. Yes. She's crazy busy. She just got back from Miami. She had a 2-week-long event there. Her business has exploded. She's doing phenomenally well. I'm so proud of her. And I've gotten some, extra residual business from the show as well, as you can imagine. So
Yes.
it's certainly been worth it. We absolutely loved it. We would love to work together again, whether it's, a season 2 or just something different and tweaked in a certain way. But we do a lot of things well together. We drink very well together, too. We had a lot of fun on that show. We did. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Again, you all, as people were just sitting at home, everybody's scrolling through Instagram. You have 2 sides. You have your friends who get married.
Yeah.
Then you also have your friends who are closing on houses. So everybody's like caught in between the two. So when marriage or mortgage came out, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Basically, you all were teaching us, but it was giving us real life examples, even with the, and then real life difficulties. Even with the girl who had the mother who was, very connected to the family.
Yeah.
How, she was like, oh, I'm gonna give my opinion. Well, I'm gonna be over here. And some of them were like, hey, this is my decision. But then she was like, oh no, well, this is what we like.
Right.
So I think that it was really important to see, because Tyrik and I were like, does family really play a big role in you getting a house?
Absolutely. You don't know how many times I have been, walking through with the prospective home buyers, and they're calling their parents. And listen, everyone would do this, and it's fine that they do it, but it's just funny that I've got an actual inspector who knows what they're doing and is accredited to do exactly that, inspect a home. Well, that doesn't sound right. They'll call a cousin or dad or grandpa. Or I'm like, and what are their qualifications? You've got professionals right here who you are paying your money to tell you. I mean, it's funny. It's really funny. Yes, you have to deal with a whole lot of different personalities. And that's one of the reasons why I enjoy it. If I had to sit at a desk all day, every day, and do the same, I would go crazy. I love to be out and seeing different things. That's why I liked working at the shopping network so much, too. We're selling different stuff. Well, houses are the best thing to sell, in my opinion. I love it. And I have always, since I was a little kid, would drive by and go, I wonder what that house looks like on the inside. Oh, I wonder what color their bedroom is. It's just always been a curiosity of mine. So it's so fun. I love it. I can just sit for hours. Even when I'm not looking for clients, I'll just sit for hours and scroll through the MLS where all the houses are, and look at all the pictures and think, oh, that's a great idea for, thinking about my future house and the dream home, what I want to build someday. It's a lot of fun. I just enjoy it so much.
Listen, we enjoyed you all, like, literally. I'm telling you, as soon as Tyrik and I, we watched a Netflix show, we went to your Instagrams. We said, hey, where are they? So now we want to follow your life. What are you doing? Where are you?
So sweet. I do get in trouble because I'm really bad about posting on Instagram and listen, I'm old. I'm so old. You guys know I was like furiously typing an hour before this started. Oh my God, I'm afraid I'm going to do this wrong. Like, I seriously have anxiety about doing this. I can go on a TV set, talk to 1,000 people at one time. These little things, I'm afraid I'm going to mess something up or I don't know what I think I'm going to do wrong, but it gives me anxiety. And I just don't post enough, according to a lot of people. So I'm going to work on it. I'm going to try to do better. I appreciate it. Just to give you guys an insight, my daughter lost her first tooth today.
Oh, okay.
I'm so excited. She was thrilled. It's her little bottom one. It's the teeny tiniest tooth. And truth be known, she lost it in the car on the way home from our celebratory dinner. And so now I've got to go out with a flashlight and look for it, because the tooth fairy has to come.
The tooth fairy
obviously. So I have to go find that tooth in the back seat.
Well, first of all, congrats to your daughter.
Thank you.
Tyrik, being the money man, he would definitely, the tooth fairy would definitely give her a prize.
Yes. The tooth fairy will be in the house this evening.
Last question before we head out. And again, if you have any questions, look, forever hold your peace. This is your last time.
That's
okay?
Right.
Boho Farm Chick said, what do you see happening in the California market over the next year? Everything is so expensive here right now.
Everything is expensive. I have to say, oh, hi, Betty Lee. I used to work with her at the Shopping Network. Oh my gosh, love her. She's on tons of commercials. I see her all the time. She lives in New York and she's got family back in Nashville. Ah, sorry. Back to Boho Farm Chick. I can't comment on the California market. I know it's hot there just because I see the news and do see the stuff just like you guys do. But because I'm not licensed there and I don't follow it closely enough, I mean, I watch, $1 Million Listing just like everybody else. So that's about the extent that I know. I will say that I think that the real estate market across the board is still going to go up. I think the housing prices are still going to increase. That's why you have people thinking, well, I'm going to sit out a year and see what's going on. I mean, I think you should just go ahead and jump into it. There's no time like the present. I don't see prices going down at all. If anything, to level off, but they're not going to, in these major markets, they're not going to go down. So if that's where you're looking to purchase, just jump on the bandwagon. Get a great real estate agent with a proven track record, ask all the hard questions, and, pick someone that you love.
Yeah, because it is a seller's market now, right?
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. However, if you sell high in this market, you got to buy high, so it's a sticky situation. There's no doubt about it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As you're talking, he's thinking about the next house he's going to buy.
I love it. May I interest
I love it too.
In Nashville?
Oh, Nashville is a beautiful place. So
it is. You should come invest in some property in Nashville. We've got lots of Airbnbs that are extremely profitable.
Do it, Tyrik.
Think about, I consider that seriously.
Even outside of Nashville, like you don't have to be in Nashville proper. If you got a small house outside of Nashville and wanted to, lease it out short term or long term, whatever, it would be a smart investment in my opinion.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Boho Farm.
You're welcome, Boho Farm Chick.
And then
Secret chick, whatever.
Asa BWMS, she said, thank you for the Holmes girl. Lovely to see and hear you.
So cute.
Okay.
You all are the sweetest.
Now,
yeah, I recognize some names that follow me on Instagram. That's so cute that you guys decided to join. Thank you.
Listen, I tell you, if you go live more, people follow you. Like, people will be like, are you going to go live like every Monday? You'll see.
Is that how often I should do it? Like once a week? Is that enough? Is it?
Yeah.
You think?
If you go live, I'm a social media strategist, okay?
Oh.
That's what I do by heart.
Oh, yeah, she's big time. She is big time.
Girl, we need to talk.
So I do analytics for TV stations, right?
Fabulous.
I've been doing that since college in like small businesses. So if you go live at least once a week, that's telling your followers, you're saying, hey, to the Instagram algorithm, hey, I love you, come on back. So then they'll show more of your content to other people. And then like in the Nashville area, say you want to sell a house, you get your houses and stuff out there. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Right. I like that. I'm going to take that free advice. I appreciate it very much.
Some good stuff.
Very, very much.
Good info. Dropping some gems.
Oh, listen.
Yes.
Okay. Before we get out of here, you have to tell us, what future projects can we see from you?
Yes, we want to know.
Oh my
You're going to
gosh.
follow me.
I will forever be in TV. I mean, you just can't keep me away from it. I love being in front of the camera. It's just my happy place. So this is so funny. I have done car commercials in Middle Tennessee for the last 15 years for the same car company, for the same Rocky Williams dealership. I will continue to do that. You will always see me doing that. You never know where I'm going to pop up. I still will see things that I shot like 20 years ago. There's a side of a bus. Oh my gosh. Like I was there with a clipboard, like a moving company, and there I go on the side of a moving thing. You just never know. I mean, I see myself coming and going, and I used to be on Zappos. I mean, I still get on the Zappos website and see me selling swimsuits. And if I was in a swimsuit, it was a long time ago because nobody wants to see this in a swimsuit anymore.
I think it was in 1985 when you were
95, yep.
95, Illinois.
Yes.
Tyrik and I said, well, you look great now. You look great now. We're just saying.
You're kind. Thank
We
you.
was like, whoa.
Oh, yeah.
You're so sweet. It was a lot of fun. That was a great experience for me as well. I mean, that was a turning point. I was going to be an elementary school teacher up until I had that experience. And when I re-entered college, I changed my major and to radio and TV because I had done so many radio interviews and TV interviews that it just, the bug had bitten me and I loved it. So yeah, you'll see me on camera. I can't tell you when or where, but I'll pop up. I promise you that.
Oh yeah, and one more thing before we go, I gotta ask. So look, a lot of our followers, you know, like we're in the TV industry, a lot of our followers, you know, want to be journalists, want to be hosts and stuff like that. What's your advice for somebody who wants to go into the industry?
Do exactly what you're doing. I was looking at both of your profiles and I'm so impressed with how young you guys are and what go-getters you guys are and that you have all of these different things that you're doing. Get out there, get in front of the camera as often as you can. And you guys know better than I do that this is a whole different it's a whole new world, all this technology. So it's not even the same. There are people that I don't understand how they make all the money that, you know, they're 13 years old and I don't get it. You guys get it, but to be you know, on TV, do what you're doing. You're doing great. Build that resume, get seen, start off, this still rings true. If you want to be in news, start off in the smaller markets and you gradually get larger and larger. I mean, I feel like a Walter Cronkite saying things like that now, given like all the digital age that we're in. So crazy. But I am proud of you guys. You guys are doing like amazing things at such a young age. I'm so proud of you guys. Congrats. Yeah.
Shoot, you never know. We all might be working on a show together one day.
I would love it.
Come on.
Let's do it.
I would not say no to that.
I'm a producer at heart. Like, you give me the scripts, I come up with the settings, and we do that, okay? I'll write the scripts. We'll get this show together.
Love it.
Let's do
I'll
it.
produce the thing. Okay, so I see that. Okay, this is another social media tip for you before we get out of here.
Okay.
Asa VWMS said Nichole and Sarah should go live somewhere down the line.
Sure. Yeah.
That would be smart.
We have talked about doing that. And our schedules are nuts. But just like we could do that in, you know, if she's in a different state and I'm in a different state, we can at least do it. We'd have to have someone showing us. We're both, you know, old as Methuselah, as they say. And, you know, we'd figure it out. We need to figure it out and do that. I agree.
Okay. Well, how about this? After the live, me and Tyrik, we got you. So we'll handle that one.
Appreciate
We
it.
got you.
Thank you. Any questions, I'll contact you guys about.
Okay. Everybody, thank you for joining us. Again, I need y'all to drop some either thank you, the clapping emojis for Nichole Holmes. She already said you're going to see her on TV more. Again, if you are in the Nashville, Tennessee area, make sure you purchase your home with Nichole. She's the best. And if you want to see her track record, go on Netflix. Marriage or Mortgage. You don't want to miss it. And make sure you follow her page. So we will see you later.
Thank you guys so much. What an honor.
We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
See ya.